Hi, this is Lori with Time to Be Creative, and this is the next video in the wedding book album series. I'm going to decorate my pages. We not finished, but we put the cover together, and so I have my cover ready to go. But I think I'm going to embellish my pages, and then the next video I'll put the book inside the cover, and we'll finish it up and then decorate the cover. So I'm not going to get super carried away with this. I don't have a lot of wedding type book embellishments. I try to, when I go to the craft store or really anywhere, dollar store, I always look at their little tiny things that I can use as embellishments, and just pick up whatever catches my eye. But I don't generally have too much in the way of wedding stuff. And I wanted the book to be mostly white with a little bit of a pink accent and some silver. So I'm not sure it's gonna be as maybe elegant as I had hoped at the beginning, because some of the things I do have I think are really cute and I'd like to put them in the book. So we'll just see how they work. So on the first page here, I put two frames that we cut out, and I colored in some of that white on white design with my alcohol marker. And then I used my die cutter. I have a little die cutter. It's like a little label. So I just put that in my machine and made two little labels because I wanted to do something at the bottom of these frames, Mr. and Mrs. So I just cut out those two little die cuts. I inked the edges, and then I just had some black letters, which I'm not particularly thrilled with, but that's what I have. I don't have too much in the way of lettering. And then I just put one of those little pop-up discs on the back to give that some height. So I'm working upside down, so I'm just going to pop that at the bottom of that frame, and this one at the bottom of this frame. And I left the top open so a photograph can be slipped in. And I was thinking about embellishing the photo mats inside the pockets, but you know what? Why? Because they're going to be putting pictures on them, and they look very nice. So I'm just going to leave the photo mats as they are. Now we come to this next page, and I'm hoping my brain kicks in and I remember what I was going to put on each of these pages. I did cut out a few pieces of cardstock excuse me, to put in this pocket. If you have any rough edges, you can always take an emery board that's not too rough and smooth up those edges. I do like to round my corners. Sometimes I just do opposite corners like that. Just depends. And sometimes I put some coordinating paper on here. I think for this one I'm just going to ink my edges. Now with other books I would put some lines on for journaling, but I think I'm going to leave this these journaling cards blank. This one really cut rough. I'm not sure why that is, but I just want to smooth that out. And I think I'm going to take my Crop-A-Dile, which is this tool. You may be familiar with it. You can set eyelets with this or punch holes. So I'm going to just punch a small hole in this corner just to make it look like a tag. I think I'm just going to take a little piece of wire and flip through here. This is just wire. It's covered in white. The gauge is very small. It's very easy to use, very easy to cut. So I'm going to put that on there just for something different, just to make a little tag. I'm going to come in and ink my edges. Now I'm going to ink both sides because they may want to add a picture or some kind of momentum on one side and then journal on the other. So I want to make sure that looks finished off. And then I'm just going to come in with, I think with just a little flower. Add a little flower on there. And I'm going to put 2 cards in this spot. Now I'm using, like I mentioned once before, I think in one of my other videos, for some reason the 65-pound white cardstock does not have a good thickness to it to me. To me it's totally different than the black and the craft color. So I had some 110, which really is a little too thick, but it works better than the 65-pound in my opinion. So that's what I'm using here. And again, I'm going to ink these edges. Now I had something laid out that I was going to put here, and I'm trying to see where I put that down. Oh, there they are. I see them. So this card, I'm just going to put that, make that plain. And I have some little stickers here. Maybe I'll put just a little sticker on this. This is the kind of thing I just sometimes you see they're just discounted or clearance, or they might have a sale. I always open the wrong end. This one says bouquet. I'm just going to put that at the top. So now we've got 2 cute little cards to go in that pocket. And then I had picked up some things that were sparkly. There was silver and some like coppery color items in a discount bag. It's a whole bunch of this stuff. And of course I was attracted to the glitter and the sparkles. So I'm just going to add that, some decoration to this front of this pocket. And this was all white. So I took my alcohol marker and just inked up the edges. Let's give it a little color. Now the one thing that I always forget, you'll see as we continue in the book, like if I use something like this that's raised up, on the next page I want to make sure I have something that's flat and really glued down well, because then when I shut the book it catches. And so a few pages back, I'll tell you, I had to remove something and replace it with something else because it kept pulling the raised up items that I had. So I think we'll call this page finished. Of course, they can add a photo here and then write on these journaling cards. And on this page, we put just a little photo mat with slits. And so I'm just going to decorate around this page. And so I have more of these little sparkly items that I'm going to use. These I think I'm going to just glue the bottom so that a photograph can be popped in. And as I rummage through my things here, I think I'm going to put a little pink crystal in the center of this flower. Like that. I think that looks nice. And then on the bottom, I'm going to use these little silver flowers and these little petals to kind of make them look like a plant. But I wanted to put some color on those petals, so I think I'm going to use my Pebbles chalk set. And I'm going to use the Pearl Essence. I've showed you this on a previous video. And I'm just going to come in here and use this green that I've used on a couple other pages. And so all you do is pick up your little, it's a little pom-pom. I always call it a bumble ball, but it's just a little pom-pom. And then you just put your chalk on that. And I'm just going to come in here and chalk my edge of this little kind of leaf petally thing. Just give that a little bit of color. I'm going to do that to both of those. Just want that to stand out on that white background a little bit. And then I'm just going to come in with some liquid glue and glue those down. I always try to work over a piece of paper so you don't get your book surface or your work area dusty from the chalk. This particular chalk set is by Pebbles. So now all I'm going to do is just glue these in where I want them to just help decorate that page. Now I'm using a different kind of glue than I normally have used in the past. Because it tends to be expensive, so I want to see how this glue works for me. And sometimes it just comes out a lot at once, so I'm just going to use the tip of a, and this is supposed to be a quick dry, which is, you know, really great. Dries clear. But sometimes I make a mess. Like I say, I'm going to just do the bottom of these. Now this glue is, like I said, I just started to use this. I mean, literally, this morning I tried it. And it kind of has strings like a hot glue. I really like the Zip Dry brand of glue. That dries quickly, but there aren't any strings. Of course, it's more expensive, and you don't get as much. But I'm going to give this one a try, see how I like it. So there again, I almost just made them like, not even like a pocket. I think I can come back in with a pair of tweezers maybe and pick that extra glue off. I think I'm going to switch to my Zip Dry, This other one's called 450 Quick Dry. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I think it's their brand. Maybe not. It's called Helmar. I don't know if that's their brand or not. But this is the zip dry. I'm going to use that on these smaller pieces because I feel like I have a little more control. I just ordered something from HSN and it hasn't come yet. Supposedly you can run the tape over the back of items like this and it just hits the areas that you need it to hit. It doesn't get on your work surface. So for little pieces like this, I'm anxious to see how that works. So I'm just really gluing these down to add some interest to the page. Have those look like little flowers. Hope that looks okay. So really you can embellish your pages as much or as little as you like. And then with whatever you might have in your stash. I still am getting a little bit of, hasn't seemed to dry very well. Some of the inked areas or the glue from the areas that I inked. So I'm using this alcohol ink blending tool. Kind of helps to rub off some of that extra. Of course, some people may not see that, but I have kind of like an eagle eye. I kind of pick up on a lot of things. Okay, so that's that page where they can just slip in a photo in those slots, and then maybe little photos behind these areas, and then just a few embellishments. Now on this page, we did the waterfall, and so photos can be added to these squares. And then I wanted something underneath this belly band. So I'm going to use this on top here to decorate that. And then I want a couple of spots, a couple of journaling cards or a mat, photo mat. This is just an oval that one of the frames that I made. So I'm just going to ink this edge. So this can be used as a photo mat. So that's easy. And then I'm going to round my corners. And I just picked out a size that I thought would work. See if I want to trim that at all. Because what I want to do is come in here and put some kind of a catch or latching system to kind of hold these pages down. So you have to think of those things ahead of time, which I don't always do, unfortunately. I probably should have thought about it before I covered these pages. But because I'm going to put this on top of that front page, I can then hide my latching system, if you will, which I hope is going to work. This is just going to be a photo mat journaling card. So I want to ink these edges, both sides. And you can do as little or as much as you want. You can really come in on the side or really just do the end, whatever kind of a look you like. So that might look nice there, but I just need to trim off a little bit on the edge here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. A lot of times I just don't take measurements, I just kind of eyeball stuff. Sometimes that works out well, and other times it's not so great. And again, I want to ink those edges. And I could come back in with some chalk if I wanted to. I give a little more detail a little color to this paper. The paper is beautiful. You probably can't really see it that well on the camera. Again, that's by Paper Studio. It's called Blanc Boutique. So I'm just going to attach that. So you could put a photo there and journal on the back. And I will use my tape gun to attach that one. You could use your liquid glue, but this is easier, I think. Easier if you don't stick your fingers in the back of the tape. I can't really talk and talk and glue at the same time. I can walk and chew gum though. Okay, so that will slip in there. This here. And then I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to use white glue with this. But what I decided to do was to make, hopefully this will work, a little latch system. Now I don't need it to be tight. I don't have an elastic. White elastic might be nice. But I found these cute little buttons in Lancaster. Well, it's not really a button. It didn't have a little thing. It's just a little decoration. And on the back, I used the E6000 glue on the back. And I just took an eyelet and glued that onto the back of that embellishment. And so my plan is to glue that there. And then I'm going to take this ribbon, which will then be able to be looped there, to just kind of hold those down. Now I wish I had a really thin, like an 1/8 inch ribbon, but I don't, and I want to get the book finished. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this 1/4 inch ribbon that I have. And I think it'll work okay. So I want to get this situated and glued on. Again, I'm going to, because it's metal, I'm going to use this E6000. And I'm going to see, let's see. Uh, 4 inches. So 2 inches. So I want it to be right about here. Just going to give myself a little mark. And of course the eyelet isn't solid. So I'm going to put some glue, as I pick the glue off my finger, I'm going to put some of this glue right on this eyelet. And then we're going to give that a minute to kind of set up. All right, we're going to just let that sit while we work on this other page. So now I'm going to just put that aside. And we're going to slide over to this page. And I just wanted a little something on this page. So I think I'm going to just make a little tag to go here. And then put some kind of wording on there. So it's just a little square of paper. It's a real fine pink and white pinstripe. And I'm just rounding my edges. if you can see that. It's just a real fine. It's just so adorable. And then I'm going to ink those edges. Now because I have the waterfall on this side and I'm not sure when I close that if it's going to cause a problem here, I don't think I'm going to lift that up. I think I'm going to just attach that flat. But I want to put something on this little medallion. So I think I have this little True Love sticker. I'm going to put that on it. And anytime you put anything with any adhesive on, you want to make sure you give it a pretty good press. So I think that'll look cute. And I don't know if I need a little, I do like crystals and little things that sparkle. So I think I'm going to put a little crystal on either side. And that new glue is just having an explosion, so it's just like a volcano coming out of the top of that. So I'm just going to add a little tiny drip, hopefully, of glue to the back of each of these. Little crystals. Let's see if I have any success with using a pair of tweezers today. Sometimes, well, especially with the hot glue, you can come back in and pull off that extra glue. I think I might be able to do that with this as well. Just, I'm really having trouble with my glue this morning. I'm not sure why. I think that looks really cute. Okay, so then we're just going to come in with the glue. Glue that down. I'm not sure that that page really needed anything, but I think that looks cute. Okay, I'm going to still let that sit for a little bit, and we'll come back to this page because I want to get that a good, make sure that sticks really well. So we'll move on to our next page, and this I'm just going to make a photo mat to go inside that pocket. So I've already pre-cut these, and of course your book would be different than my book and your measurements would be different. So you can do a small card to go in there, you can do something that's a different shape, you can do a round. Mine is 4 3/4, I believe, by 5, and then I just came in with some coordinating paper and made that a little smaller. Now I do have some pink accents on this page, so I don't think I'm going to come in and accent the dotted Swiss on that paper. The dotted Swiss is what we used for the cover. But I might add a little ribbon a little bow at the top of this. I am going to ink my edges because it just kind of gets lost, especially it's not a pure white, but white on even on the stark white just gets lost. So I'm going to ink my edges on both of these. And we have our little flowers and our little embellishment on the pocket. This little punch that I used. Again, I'm going to do the back of this card because you can do some journaling. When you flip that over, I want that to coordinate. And then I'm just going to use my tape runner. On bigger pieces of paper, I like to run a strip down the center. And then I always get confused as to which way I want that on. So you want to make sure you get that on the way you want it. Give it a good press. That looks good. I think maybe a little ribbon, a little bow. They would be good. So I'm going to use white. I just have my 1/4 inch. I like to pull it really tight, and then you can come back in and just adjust your loops and make it the size that you want. And then you can trim these little side pieces to whatever size you think looks good. I do have my hot glue plugged in, so I'm going to put this on with a little bit of hot glue. Okay, I think that page is good. Now the next page, I don't think we need anything on this one. This one we put a frame and did a flower to match the frame. I left this open so we could slip a picture in. But this is, in one of the other videos, this is where I messed up. I didn't get the page on straight, and I messed up my cardstock when I put my pages in. So to remedy that, I used one of my punches and made this cutout. And so I have one of those for this center section of each page. And I'll put those in off camera, but I wanted to show you this one. So what I'm going to do is just run a bead of glue down the center of, no, maybe I'll wait on that because as we work on the book, I don't want my pages to stick to that. But that's the idea. Maybe I'll wait for my new glue to come because that'll be perfect for that. I can just run that tape glue on the back, but that will hide my little error there at the bottom of that. And so we'll have that in between each page. So I think I'll do that off camera. So now we'll go to the next section. This page I think is pretty much finished. We did an embellishment there. I cut some flowers out of a Mambi pack that I had, and then just put some color on another oval I had cut out from another frame. And then I had made a ribbon flower, a ribbon bow, which I showed you for on this pocket. But this is where I was talking about I had a problem. So what happened was, because I had elevated the flower and this oval on this page, and I had this bow on this page, they kept hooking into each other, and I ruined the bow here. So I took that off, and I need something flat here. So what I did was I came in and took a piece of that pinstripe pink, and it's a Martha Stewart punch, but I don't know the name of it, but I think it's really pretty. I inked my edges, and I'm going to glue this flat there. And then I had a couple of little white buttons that I'm going to attach here. So I think that looks real sweet. And then I'm going to make a photo mat and tag to go in the pocket. So all I'm going to do here is take this glue. Again, I wish I had I'm anxious to get that new glue system. But I'm going to glue this totally down because I don't want it to catch on the adjacent page. Now my zip dry glue is not coming out. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this the best that I can. I'm going to run glue across the top, and then I'm going to hit different spots across the bottom. Now this glue, you can rub it off. So I dropped that there. I'm not worried about that. I can remove that once it starts to dry. So I'm going to put that right under that little lip, and I'm going to give that a press. And then I'm going to put a little hot glue on these corners. Glue down my buttons. Sometimes I put ribbon in the little buttonholes, but I couldn't determine what I wanted to do there. I don't have anything really narrow in this, a color that would work with this project. So now that glue that when I drop that, see, it just rubs off, which is really nice. So for this pocket, I just measured out some cardstock. And this is the lighter cardstock, but you really can see it's really kind of flimsy. But when I add my pattern paper on there, that'll give that a little bit of stability. So again, I'm going to ink my edge. On both pieces. Again, I'm going to do the back side of that base piece. I really wanted to make this insert one that has the slits for a photograph, but I'm having such trouble with the punch that I purchased, I can't get the paper out of the punch. So I'm just going to do a plain one. So that's that. And I think I'd like to have something on the top of this card. Something decorative. I'm not sure if I need it. I think I want maybe a little disc there. I think I'll use my 1-inch punch, and I think I'm going to get a piece of the patterned paper. And I'm going to punch out 2 1-inch circles. Of course, I'm going to ink those as well. Now, you may not be as fond of inking the edges as I am, but I really think it finishes off the look and gives your book a really nice professional look. So I think I'm going to put these little dots here, glue those on, and maybe I'll put a little crystal in the back to jazz up that journal side. So I'm just putting that on. And then I just need a little glue on the bottom of this disc because I have glue at the top of this one. So I'm just going to situate that where I want. Make sure that they meet. That looks cute. And you know what, I have some, this might not be the right color. I have some pearls. These are cute. I got these at Michael's. They have a bin with some inexpensive stuff, always to tempt you on your way out. And so I think one of those pearls might look cute. I'll use the bigger one. That already has adhesive on it. I think that color will look okay. Oh my, it's sticking to me. I've got so many strings of glue on my fingers. I'm going to put one on the other side as well. That looks cute. Very cute. Okay, next page. This is where we did a double belly band. And I just measured, these cards are 3 by 5. And then I came in, I think I did 2.5 by 4.5. And I'm going to round these edges as well. And I will ink my edges. I don't know that you need to watch me do this. Trying to see, my tape's getting quite long. So I think I'm just gonna zip through these here. I don't think you need to watch me do this, but you would do the same thing. Ink your edges, you would attach that, glue them together, and that will look really cute in that belly band. And then on this page is where we made these little doors, like gate-like doors that open. I put a magnet at the bottom. And then I'm just making little journal tags for in these small belly bands. They measure 1.5 inches by 4 3/4. We left this open to slip in a photograph. And while I like how that looks, I think it's just a little too much silver. And so I just measured coordinating paper with the book that I'm going to come in and attach this way. And I think I'd really like to put a bow or something on these, but that will interfere with the flowers on the adjacent page. So I need to come up with something. And I think I'm going to chalk the flowers on this page to give that a little bit of color. And then I'll come in and I will round my corners on these little journaling tags and ink those as well. I'm not quite sure if I have something that I feel I can use. Those wedding rings might be nice, but there again, they're raised up. But you know what? I might take those apart. Take those little... See, they're just on those little squares. I think I might take those apart and make that flat. And put those wedding bands there. That might be nice. So I think I'll do that. I'll do that off camera. And I'll glue those on. I wanted to quick come back to this page. You can see our book is really getting thick with our embellishments. So it's nice that we have that room in between the pages. So this is on here fairly well. So the idea is for this ribbon to loop around the flower. And just hold. So I need a little bit of give. And then just hold that down. So I think I might want to crisscross that to make it more like that. Oh, and it came off. I guess I didn't let it dry long enough. Alright, we'll address that in the next video. I'll play with that a little bit more. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and finish up these last few things. The next video, we'll touch base on these things I didn't finish, and then we'll put our book in the cover, and then finish the inside of the cover, and then decorate the outside of the cover. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.